Deathstroke number 19. Christopher Priest, Dan Abnett, and Ben Percy writing. Carlo Pugliese on art. And this continued kind of where we left off. Slade's got speed. Wally runs after him. Wally eventually is convinced to turn around. We get a little bit of flashbacks. We see what the deal was with Dick, which was back in his Robin days. Wally goes to Jericho for help to deal with what's going on. Meanwhile, Slade, a couple of other flashbacks to sort of prominent moments in his relationship with Grant and stuff, which, from what I've read of his series, are actually stuff we'd already seen in his series, but just extra bits added onto it. And of course,
a little more context there.
Yeah, and of course, the final cliffhanger being that he does actually go back in time and he meets Grant in costume.
I am so disappointed in this.
Really?
Yeah, we got the tease early on that it was for the Lazarus contract. I really thought there was going to be some resurrection of some kind, or.
Well, I mean, I think if he managed to save Grant, I feel like that is kind of a resurrection. It's just maybe not the resurrection in the way you were expecting it, but.
No, but like the term Lazarus contract, it was revealed here. That is a contract that he'll put on the side but can revive at any time.
Yeah, that's what the word Lazarus in this context means, yeah.
Ugh, that's like finding out the MacGuffin's like
Yeah, I mean, I wasn't super pissed about that because, I mean, as much as we speculated about what who gave him the Lazarus contract, as much as that was the case, I wasn't super big. I did have some problems with this issue though. I think this is the most choppy of the issues because it really felt like it started off pretty consistent with the last couple, which meant it was fun. And then the middle of it seemed to go, oh no, wait, this is a Deathstroke issue. Let's be a Deathstroke issue. And then just at the end it flipped back. But it was like a big chunk in the middle where it turned into Deathstroke mode, and I don't mean that in the sense that it focused on him. I mean, it brought the scene title cards and things like that. It tried to make it feel more like a Deathstroke issue, and the pacing of the issue felt really weird because of it. It felt kind of disjointed.
Yeah, well, and it's gonna stand out differently than Teen Titans and Titans. Also, like when they do collect this, it's gonna feel real different. I think, but yeah, we did get a great moment in Deathstroke saying he's the fastest killer alive.
Yeah, I like that line.
I think that's what he said, as a play up to the Flash. And, Priest is really good at writing Deathstroke. I just think the story kind of feels half-cooked because, again, you'd mentioned the stuff with Grant, but that's real early. The recent stuff in Deathstroke's been more about Rose and Joey and not so much about Grant.
Oh yeah, sure. So, I mean, Rose is brought up, of course. That's part of the deal that he made with Dick, is that he wants Dick to impart
trainer, which I liked.
Yeah, impart his values onto her.
Because we got that early, and in the Batman issue with Damian and stuff, as Damian mentioned that she fights like Grayson, kind of. So that was a nice payoff for here, that legit she was.
Yeah, no, I liked that well enough. I liked Wally going to Jericho. I liked that. I liked, because Wally runs off when he realises that with Slade with speed, he can't take him on a fight, so he has to go and sort of seek other avenues. So, but no, it obviously ends in this big cliffhanger where he sees Grant, and that's kind of where we end. Obviously, we're going to have the bigger final issue, which is the annual, the Teen Titans annual, which is coming next week. And I'm still looking forward to that because I feel like it could be a pretty entertaining final. I do think this issue is going to stand out as kind of the weird weak link because it did feel so disjointed.
Yeah.
So that's a bit of a shame. Art was a little bit strange in a couple of places, I thought, as well. I thought there was a couple of moments with Deathstroke when he was running at super speed where his helmet almost looked like it was shaped like the Martian Manhunter head.
Yeah.
It had this pointy back to it. It was weird.
Well, I mean, there's no other focus point like that on any of his other body parts, so that's weird. Usually when you want to do speed like that, you see it across, but not just the head. Almost like he was getting sucked into a portal of some kind.
Yeah, it was later on. It was after the whole middle chunk where we got the sort of what I'll call the Deathstroke part of the issue. He was running along and he just had this really pointy back of his head, and it was really like distracting me. I thought it looked strange. Also worth noting that New Wally's powers are temporarily gone for the time being, which fine, makes some sense if you stole them.
Yeah, he gave him up to Deathstroke.
Yeah, not necessarily intentionally, admittedly,
No.
but but yeah, I do like the idea. There's that one page though. Admittedly, it's when I think his helmet looks almost the worst of the entire issue. But I do like the idea that he's sped about the planet and like assassinated like 4 people, like in the
Doing,
space of a few
yeah,
minutes.
taking care of loose ends, I think he said.
Yeah. So it's
Yeah.
just this like series of panels of all these dead people in different countries,
Yeah.
and it's like, oh, this is why you don't give assassins and serial killers super speed because they
Yeah.
can just wreck things up.
Yeah.
Um,
And also that he had used the gravity sheath on the icon suit. That's how he was able to time travel, which I thought that was interesting because he brings up, the theory that gravity can bend time and whatnot if you're moving fast enough.
yeah.
So it's basically something only he can do. But yeah, I still want to know what happened at this wedding. Like I need to know why Rose is all laid up.
Oh, I'm
Uh,
sure that's going to come up in the new
it's
Deathstroke
just
issues.
yeah, it's just such an odd jump, you know.
Yeah,
So
I mean, I'm enjoying the crossover well enough, but it is definitely a sort of, it's a lesser one, as opposed to like the Button or, I don't know, like,
well, yeah, I wasn't expecting it to be that big. I just expected it to be more concise, because you have Deathstroke and all the Titans have this relationship, and it just I don't know. It feels empty here, and I hope this fixes that a little.
oh,
But
well,
like, so
here's
if
the
he
odd,
had a con,
here's
what?
the odd thing. I think Deathstroke's actually the weakest part. I feel like the Titans
Hmm.
interacting with the Teen Titans has mostly been. I mean, it's not been deep or anything like groundbreaking, but it's been
Right?
fun. The interactions have felt kind of natural. They feel like, oh, this is how Damien would speak to Wally. This is how this and that. Um, but like Deathstroke himself, like the motivations are, as you say, they don't.
Yeah.
They feel like they come out kind of nowhere compared to his main
Hmm.
series.
Oh, there's definitely, and you had so much to build on too with the relationship with Rose and Joey, and even the Chicago issue about you're just creating more if more pain and whatnot. So I guess I just wanted to have more of an emotional hit than just
Yeah, well,
this.
I mean that last point, I can kind of see it in there to an extent, though, because he wants to change everything that's happened since then. He wants to like this whole career path that he's taken since that day. He wants to alter it.
But that's the thing with the Lazarus contract. If he put it on hold with the Titans, then does that mean none of the other interactions with him since then have happened? Right? Because
Uh,
that's what the Lazarus contract stated, that contract was null until later.
yeah, I guess it does mean that in this post New 52 universe, yeah.
Yeah, so yeah, it's odd, I guess then. And I guess I mean is the Judas contract not happen then too?
Well, no, I think it happened.
Well, because of the Lazarus contract, right?
Yeah, but was this
He,
deal with Dick not after the Judas contract?
I don't think so. Because I mean, he's still Robin when he makes the deal.
Oh yeah, but I took that as just this saying that he wasn't Nightwing for Judas contract in this
Right.
timeline now, as opposed to before where because obviously
Right.
that's where he got his original his original terrible Nightwing suit, might I add.
Yeah. Oh yeah, it's
Was
based off the Flying Graysons and Dead
yeah.
Man. It's fine.
I
You
mean,
know.
it's still terrible, but yeah, I'm not saying I don't
Big up,
understand it.
man.
It's just terrible.
Yeah. Yeah, because it says it's a year after Grant's death, so maybe Judas' contract happened. I just.
Yeah, because I got the impression this was after. It's just when he finds out about Rose. This is when he makes this choice when he finds out about Rose, because
Yeah.
that's the inciting incident for it. But no. So yeah, bit of a clunkier issue. I mean, I didn't hate it by any means. It was still easy enough to read. Certainly the Titans and Teen Titans stuff was the more highlight. Especially Wally and Jericho was fun. I liked the Damien talking down to New Wally about we found out one of your superpowers is super gullibility and things like that. Like so
Yeah.
that stuff's still kind of on point. It almost just kind of feels like they maybe like squished this into too few issues. I feel like it maybe see if it had 6 issues instead of 4, and they let some
Yeah.
of the motivations from Slade, especially, get a bit more time to explore. I think that would probably flesh this out a bit more.
Yeah, because Deathstroke's the only one that double ships, right? So you could have started with a Deathstroke,
Yeah, you could have.
and then the other ones, and then ended. So it would have been a 5-part story instead of a 4.
That said,
And I
it's not. I
think
mean, it's not double shipping anymore, but it was up until now.
no, yeah.
But yeah, so
So yeah, just for me, a bit disappointing from what I had envisioned for something like the Lazarus contract. But next week we get the annual, and I think it's bigger size, right? Like most annuals.
yeah, it's 50,
Oh,
40, 50 pages, whatever an annual typically goes for these days.
cool.
So no, I mean I think it was fine, but it was just kind of it had some clunkiness. Art was a little bit spotty here or there, and yeah, so it's a shame, but it's just kind of weird. I mean, because even like Night of the Monster Men, the Batman crossover, I thought was more consistent than
Yeah.
this. The art changed issue, but the
But the storyline was
yeah.
tight through across. Yeah.